Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Martial Arts Business Training Ground. Now, in this video, I want to touch on a very key strategy that I think more schools can use every single day to close more students and to bring more money into your studio, into your school, and it's going to cost you less than a cup of coffee, a really cheap cup of coffee at that. To do all of this stuff. So let's go in to how you can make an absolute killing with parents who can't afford you. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I make money off people who can't afford me? And I'm going to be going through all of that in this video, and there's a lot of money that's being left on the table by a lot of schools because they're just so inflexible. So let's keep going. Let's talk about all this good stuff. So here's the biggest mistake martial arts businesses make, and that is their pricing. Now, in some cases, they're flexible and inflexible at the same time, and it's killing their business. So let's talk a little bit about that. So a lot of schools are on either the really high end, which I love when schools are more expensive than others, just because I think a lot of schools are leaving money on the table when they're not taking advantage of their pricing. But a lot of the time they're just so inflexible. They have their mind set up on this number because they don't know the math in their business. They don't know what the lifetime customer value of a student is in their business. They haven't done the math. They don't know what the retention numbers are, so they don't know on average how long people are staying. And number two, because they don't have those numbers, they can't figure out how much money each individual student is making. So how can they figure out what the pricing is and what they're able to let go and what to work on? And if they're making good money, they have no idea. They just pluck the number out of thin air by either looking at other schools or just coming up with a number themselves or whatever the case may be, and they have no idea what that average customer value is. Now, if you want to base your numbers and you don't really have numbers to work off of, just think about this. Your average, student is going to stay from 12 months to 18 months, on average. Obviously, you're going to have people that stay many years. You're going to have people that stay a month or two. But on average, if you're a really good school and you know how to keep those people in, and we have videos on retention as well. If you don't see them, they're in the pipeline. They're coming. If you're really good at retention, and you're able to keep the students that you have and you're a great school, 12 to 18 months is average for that. So with keeping that in mind, you can do the math backwards and figure out how much your student is worth. So here's the key question that a lot of people and a lot of schools that we've worked in the past have. This is a key question they have. So they call me up and they say, Frank, a lot of the leads that we're getting, from this cold marketing campaign, from this Facebook campaign, from this Google campaign, et cetera, they can't afford us. There's single moms, there's people that just can't afford us. What do we do with these leads? How do we keep getting less of them? Now, I say anybody that's interested in getting your training, anybody that's willing to join your school, we should take advantage of that. And just because somebody is a single mom and can't afford your program doesn't mean that isn't a student that we don't want. Again, this isn't not. It is of course altruistic, because if a kid's mom can't afford the program, doesn't mean that he shouldn't be in the program. But let's set aside the altruistic reasons for a second. Let's talk about business here. Why not take advantage of? I mean, would you rather have a little bit of something or all of nothing? And a lot of businesses that I see would rather have nothing than something, and it really confuses me. So what do we do if somebody can't afford you? That's the key question, because it's going to happen. Whether we're getting quality leads, bad quality leads, there's always going to be somebody in the mix that just can't afford it, and they really can't afford it. They don't have the money. So let me tell you a little something about the Student Assist program. Now, this is going to really change the way you look at your pricing and the way that you think about your programs. So what is the Student Assist program? So it is a lower price program that does not include unlimited classes. Don't pay attention to the typo in the slide here. It does not include unlimited classes. So what that means is that you have tiers in your school. Not everybody is going to be at the same level. There's going to be some people that are going to be at your 150, typical, 150 bucks a month, 200 bucks a month program, and then there's going to be some people that are in a lower price program that doesn't include all of the stuff that comes in the full thing, right? Because you have different tiers in your business. Having a value ladder like this allows you to make adjustments and make decisions based off of the people in front of you. It allows you some flexibility in your pricing and in your school. So what does this mean when you say it does not include unlimited classes? So let's say you can limit your program. You can limit the belt rankings in classes, so you don't have unlimited classes. Maybe you're entitled to 2 a month, or 1 a week, or you're getting half belts. So basically, you're working at half of the pace of the other students. So basically, you are giving people the opportunity to still come into your school and take advantage of the training, take advantage of the program that you're offering, give value to the community, give value to a child that's in need, while still making money and still making a killing and still having a really good student base that's going to come to you for years and years to come. Because if you treat these people right, and if they're at a lower price point, they can't go to another school because most schools won't give them this. So you're basically you're making an executive decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take in the people that can't afford a full price program. I'm not saying, lower the value of your program. I'm not saying lower the value of your school. I'm just saying your school should have tiers of how this thing works. So what you can do is, of course, if you have a full program of $150 or $200 a month or even $300 a month, you should have that, of course, and that includes unlimited classes and all that good stuff. But you should also have a student assist program for people that just can't afford it. And the way that you do that is through program limitations and kind of giving them a lower tier of program. So instead of $149 a month, for example, it only costs $79. So what that does is if somebody really can't afford it, and again, this is your last resort. I don't want this to be something that your people are trained to just go to automatically, because that will completely diffuse the point of you even doing this in the first place. But if they're in front of somebody that they see really can't afford it, a single mom, somebody who's really struggling, somebody who really wants to join the program, who is a good fit, this is a child that you really want in your program, you know that they're a good student, you know that they're going to be a good fit for you guys, this is your absolute last resort. And one tip that I always tell my schools is limit it to 5 people a month. Don't make it be something that you're just gonna, give out willy-nilly, because not only that, but if you train your staff to do that, they're not gonna come over the objections on prices easily, right? So what they're gonna do is they're just gonna be like, okay, well, they're kind of haggling with me on price. Let's go to the student assist program. I don't want that to become that for your business. I want this to be kind of a catch-all and really, soaking up the people that you really, really want in your program. So limit it to 5 people a month. Tell your salespeople there is not going to be more than 5 people in this school this month that's going to be on that student assist program. So limit it to 5 people a month on that student assist program. That way you can really help the people that are in need. And you're going to be making bank on it, because these are people that are going to be coming over and over and over and over again. Because if you have that retention, you're going to be, you're going to be soaking up all that money that's being left on the table by all of those other schools. So again, this is somebody that you want in the program. You want this person at your school. They're a great fit. They're a great kid. You know that you can make a difference in this kid's life, and you know for sure that the parents can't afford it. I don't want this to be a sales tactic where you're just going to be like, okay, well, this person's haggling with me, or they're coming up with some objections on why they don't want to be in the program. I don't want it to be that for you. You know these parents can't afford it. Don't let this become a crutch. This is going to be your unlisted program. I don't want you to have this on your website. I don't want this to be, on your flyers. I don't want this to be anywhere in your school. I don't want anybody to know about this except for you and the parents. I don't want this to be a big public thing, because not only that, but people are going to feel embarrassed about being in that student assist program. They're going to feel embarrassed about that. So you don't want them to be kind of like a public thing. And a lot of schools tell me, well, what about if that parent goes ahead and tells everybody that they're on a student assist program, and then I have to give that pricing to everybody? Well, that's not going to be the case, because again, people don't want other people to know that they're going through financial difficulties. They want to be like everybody else. So this is your unlisted program. It'll catch more dollars for your school. And guess what? This translates to about $1.30 a day for you, less than a cup of coffee, to grow your school and make a bunch of money that would have otherwise been left on the table just because you weren't paying attention to this subsection of the market. A lot of people in lower income areas need programs like this, and they're willing to pay, but not at the full price. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a lower tier for them, so we're not dropping the value of your school, and we're not going to give this to everybody. Again, this is unlisted, and you're going to limit it to your staff and to yourself. You're going to say, I'm only going to let 5 people in this month on this program. So you're going to grow your school, make money, and let's do the math on this. If your school retains somebody for 12 to 18 months, so let's say you retain a person, let's say I believe in you guys, and you guys have a great school, and you have a great retention program, and you know how to keep people in for a long time. What is that student on a student assist program worth to you? They're worth about $1,500. And that doesn't include the referrals that you're going to be getting from these people, because they're going to refer their friends. They're going to talk about your school. Your school is going to have more buzz to it, right? Not only that, but you are going to have what I think is going to be a lifelong student, because these people are going to be coming to you over and over and over again because they realize that, hey, you know what? This school took care of me when nobody else would. This school took care of me when I was in hardship. You know, they're going to be loyal to you guys without a fault, right? So what I want you guys to think about is this is $1,500 a month that's in your pocket, paying for ads, paying for, you know, the advertising that you're doing to grow your school, right? So let's say you're making 5 of these. Let's say you're bringing 5 of these students per month. You're making more than 5K a month extra in annualized revenue without doing much more else that you would have just left on that table. So 5,000 times 12, you're leaving like 60, 65 grand on the table per year here without having this program. That's insane to me, just because you were too, you know, inflexible with your pricing. So try this out. And again, limit this. I don't want this to be a crutch. Limit it internally and for yourself as well. Don't just tell your staff this and then you're not following it either. Limit it to 5 people a month. Make this a real thing where you're actually going to try to help the community. Make your school be of value and be leaders in the community. Limit it to 5 people per month and just give them a lower tier of product. It's still going to be a great product. It's still going to be a great program for them. It's still going to change their lives. And you won't lower the value of your school, but you're going to be helping the community, making a whole bunch of money in the process, and making everybody happy. All right. So with that being said, the lesson here is don't be inflexible about your pricing and know your metrics, know your numbers, so you can make decisions like this all the time, because that's going to give you the quick pacedness of a business that can flip on its head and make decisions like this all the time. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you implement this in your school immediately, because I think it's going to make you a whole bunch more money. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Thanks a bunch. See you soon.